let's hit the field.
It is Tuesday, September 9th, and the Yankees were trying to pick up another game in the standings, taking on the Tigers in Game 1 of a 3-game set. Will Warren was on the mound. My recap and your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Oh, somebody kill me, please! I want to die!
Wow. Not much you can say about that one other than it was extremely ugly. Thank God that game is over. I was amped for this game for the last 2 days. You know, coming off a good win against the Blue Jays over the weekend. You take 2 out of 3. You got a day off, feeling good. You even jump up in this game 2-0. The captain hits a big home run. I look up and I see that Toronto was getting no hit by Houston, and everything was lining up.
It's time for a motherfucking rant!
Kind of reminded me of that meltdown against the Marlins right after the trade deadline. Remember, the Yankees were close to picking up a game there, too. And then literally all of their trade deadline acquisitions imploded within a span of about 20 minutes. And tonight, the Tigers scored 9 runs in the 7th inning. 9. That was not an inning. That was an implosion. That was physically painful. I actually felt uncomfortable watching that inning. You ever see a band or a singer like forget the lyrics or forget the music halfway through their performance? That's what that inning was. That was like watching someone get drunk at a casino and just piss their life savings away. Slow motion train wreck. And you could see it coming. Fernando Cruz was nowhere near the strike zone. And they turned a 2-2 game that I felt pretty good about into an 11-2 deficit and ultimately a 12-2 loss. But other than that, Mrs. Kennedy, how was the parade? A lot of ugly stuff tonight. We got a couple of super chats here. Brian Bashman says, I think you need to load up on some Randy Quaid quotes from Major League 2. Pick up the pooper scooper. Slime since 09 says, why pull Warren? Well, he was at 91 pitches. You know, you don't think he's going to get much further than 100. So, I really thought that, Cruz was probably the move there. But he just didn't have it. I mean, sometimes the bullpen just implodes. And Cruz has been good for us this year. But he had a clunker. Gen Z Baby says, they was so embarrassing. And then Milo Yellow says, Volpe must have dirt on Cashman and Boone. Volpe had trouble tonight getting a bunt down. And that was ugly. And right now, the bottom of the 9th inning, Astros taking on the Blue Jays. I'll try and keep you guys updated if anything happens. But right now, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is up. And it sounds like they just got a run in. So we're going to see a potential comeback here by Toronto. YouTube commenter says, I just need them to go 6-6 out of these 12 games. I can't expect more. We'll see. So far, 4-3 out of the first 7. Let's talk about this game. And Toronto has just tied it up. So this night quickly going in the wrong direction. Game 144. People who remember 1995 will remember that number and recognize it. That was a year after the strike, ended the season, and so they actually began the season late, and they only played a 144-game schedule. I remember thinking how insane it was that the Cleveland Indians hit 207 home runs in 144 games that year. 207. And then, when Aaron Judge went deep in the first inning tonight, it was the Yankees' 244th home run of the season. And that passed Yogi Berra on the Yankees' all-time list. And then Trent Grisham Jr. robbed a home run, a.k.a. Trent Griffey Jr. Huge play. Took a home run back from former Yankees draft pick Trey Sweeney. Bellinger went deep. Home run number 28 on the season for him. Second deck shot hanging curveball. But in the 5th inning, the momentum began to swing. You had the walk and then the home run by Meadows to tie up the game. Now, you did have a great play by Jazz Chisholm in that inning. Nice play.
Stellar defense.
It was the kind of like the second base version of the Jeter jump throw, which I thought was terrific. My favorite second base play of all time, it was Robinson Cano, who used to make it all the time, when he'd be basically running away from second base, right? He'd field the ball up the middle or towards shortstop, and he'd just kind of flip the ball behind his back like that, but he put so much on it that it would be like a chest-high throw to the first baseman. I still don't know how the laws of physics allowed for that, but they did. Steroids are a hell of a drug. Volpe could not get a bunt down despite about 4 attempts in the 5th inning. Popped up to third base, ended up getting booed. We'll talk more about him in a minute. He's getting close to losing his job. He's down to 206 on the season. He was 0 for 3 tonight with 2 strikeouts and a popped out bunt. 661 OPS. Continues to really, really struggle. The Yankees wasted 2 on, nobody out in that inning. And I feel like if you get those runs in, maybe the momentum shifts the other way. Right? Maybe this whole game works out differently. It's one of those fork in the road kind of innings. Did have a nice play by McMahon, but McMahon had another horrible night offensively, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, now hitting .218. But defense is good. They got him for his glove. And then the 7th inning, 9 runs for the Tigers. I stopped taking notes at that. I stopped taking notes. What is this, 1930s? I stopped taking notes at that point. Absurd. Fernando Cruz and Mark Leiter Jr. complete bums tonight.
Damn bum, you know that? Bum.
Co-bums of the week, of the month, of the millennium. According to Katie Sharp, Yanks are the second team in the last 75 years to have 2 relievers allow 4+ earned runs and get 0 outs in a game. Dynamic duo indeed. But Angels also did it. August 31st, 1999. Yankees dropped this one. Now, we don't usually do this after a loss, but I have to give out a belt tonight. There is a belt winner after this horrible loss. I know it's improbable, but we got to do it. Belt winner tonight goes to the Voyager 2 spacecraft, which is hurtling away from Earth at 39,000 miles per hour and did not have to witness this game. It was a close call. I almost gave it to Amelia Earhart, whose plane vanished over the Pacific in 1937. So presumably, she didn't watch this game, but, you know, maybe her ghost was there, and as Frankie likes to say, too soon. So we went with Voyager 2. Voyager 2 pulls even with Anthony Volpe and Marcus Stroman in the belt standings. Nice work. All right, so let's talk about the guy who actually did his job, Will Warren. 30 starts on the season now for Will Warren. We have to commend his durability. And he's really only had a few bad games. Another solid game tonight. Really deserved better. Really pitched well enough to win tonight if the Yankees offense had given him anything. Yankees offense, by the way, only got 4 hits tonight. But after the way he pitched last year with an ERA over 10, I am astonished at how well he has turned it around. He looks great this year. First 4 innings tonight, he was outstanding. In the 5th, he gave up the walk and the home run. After that, he settled back in and finished 6 innings. Only allowed 2 hits, only allowed 2 runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, lowered his ERA to 4.22 on the season, gets a no decision, 91 pitches, 59 strikes, 13 swings and misses. Solid performance by the rookie, but not good enough because the offense was not able to help him out. So let's talk about Anthony Volpe. A lot of people ask me what other Yankees content I consume, right? And one of my favorite people to read and to listen to is Joel Sherman. And he's predicting that the Yankees are going to go with Jose Caballero as the starting shortstop in the postseason and maybe even down the stretch here. And I tend to agree. And I thought he articulated in that podcast a lot of the reasons and a lot of the things that we've been saying on this channel all year long, which is how much effort he has to put in to throw the ball across the diamond effortlessly, right? Or not, that's the wrong way to say that. How much effort he has to put in when somebody like Caballero does it effortlessly, right? He just doesn't have that natural arm of a shortstop. He made the analysis of like they're kind of like a basketball team that tries to do nothing but shoot threes, right? And some guys just aren't good 3-point shooters. In baseball, not everybody's going to be a home run hitter, right? And the amount of home runs he hits are not going to outweigh the offensive struggles. And really, he needs to be a spray hitting second baseman, and it's too late in the season to switch that whole style up. I saw someone suggest Jazz for shortstop, and I hate moving Jazz around all over the place. But if he were willing to do it, I mean, he's at least athletic enough to do it. He's got a good arm. It's probably too strong for second base. It was strong enough for shortstop, or for third base. It's probably strong enough for shortstop. I don't know if he'd be comfortable there. But maybe that's something you look at during the offseason, just swapping those two guys. But they've tried to pigeonhole Volpe into being a home run hitter, and it's just not him. So going to give a shout-out to Joel Sherman and co-sign that one. I think you got to go with Caballero in the postseason. So, Gauntlet Tracker now. Yankees dropped the first game against the Tigers, and they are now 4-3 in this gauntlet. And tonight was the worst loss. It was the worst they've looked during this entire stretch. And you just got to come out and win the next two. You just got to say, you know what? Flush this one. Awful night. It doesn't usually go down like this. You know, worst night of the year for Cruz and for Leiter. You just got to flush it and come back tomorrow and win. We got some good news here. I know a lot of people have been asking for Pinstripe Territory merch. Now, the Foul Territory organization is running this store, the Pinstripe. They created that logo. They own that logo. I own the podcast. So they are running a store now. And it does help this podcast because obviously I get a cut. They are selling Pinstripe Territory merch now at PinstripeTerritoryShop.com. You got t-shirts, you got hoodies. There's like these quarter zips, which are kind of nice. You got coffee mugs in different sizes. They've got white and black, 11, 15, and 20 ounces. I drink so much coffee, guys. I'm going to have to get a couple of these. And then stainless steel travel mug. They got duffel bags. You know? They got stickers. I'm going to have to get a sticker for my laptop, too. And backpacks. So, you know, going back to school, you got notebooks, all that stuff. So check it out. PinstripeTerritoryShop.com. All right, let's take some voicemails.
It's just a reaction.
Let's go to Raekwon.
This is Raekwon calling. I feel like there has been too many big games this season where the bullpen just implodes. And Derek, I have a question. Do you give Volpe the Wells treatment where we bench Wells and Austin Rice stepped up and played more games than Wells at catcher? Do you bench Volpe and give Caballero his starting time, the playing time, and let Volpe come?
I think so. I think you got to. I think you've got to. I think Volpe's cooked for this year, at least. Here's Steve.
Hey, Derek. This is Steve, first-time caller. Well, this game was ferocious.
Ferocious.
Absolutely horrendous. Everything about it. And I'm calling this game the curse of Anthony Rizzo.
Rizzo. I'm going to go with ferocious. It's like a combination of horrendous and atrocious. I like that. That's a new word.
Hey, Derek. Call from New Jersey. Watching the game, top of the seventh, no outs. Yankees are getting clobbered. Now is a good time to bring Devin Williams in. Just wanted to give a call and say that. Thanks a lot.
I was thinking the same thing. When it got to be like, I think it was 9-2 at one point or something like that, or when they really blew it open, I said, all right, now's the time to go to Devin Williams, right? So that way, one, he's not available tomorrow, and you can't use him in a game where you could potentially win. And two, it just saves the rest of the pen. That's what I would have done. Here's call about Volpe.
Great job, Boone. Having Volpe punting when it's first and second, nobody out. He has 70 RBIs. He can't punt. Nobody can punt on this team. And getting Leiter out of there before any real damage, he only gave up 8 runs.
Only 8 runs. Here's another one.
Hey, Derek, Pete from New Jersey. You could smell this shit show coming all night long when all they could do was get those 2 solo home runs. And then that one inning when they couldn't even move runners with no out, ended up leading off the inning with 2 runners on and couldn't get a run. This is the prototypical madness that is the 2025 Yankees.
And here's Hugh.
Hi, Derek. This is Hugh from Brooklyn. I've been following the Yankees since 1958. That's the worst inning of play I've ever seen from the Yankees.
Appreciate the call. All right, let's get a quick word from DraftKings, then we'll settle in and see what happens in this Astros versus Blue Jays game. Sounds like the Blue Jays have a chance to walk it off. We'll find out in a minute. Your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. From first touchdown scorer to anytime TD props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. New customers, this one is for you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code FOUL. That's code FOUL to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet, plus over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
All right, so I've got the Astros and Jays game up here, and we can maybe talk through some comments here while we watch. E. Bronson says the tri-state area is dying between the G-men and both MLB teams. You know, tonight was just a game that is just awful, and you know, you want to put it behind you, but overall the Yankees have played pretty well recently, and so I'm not going to get too down on them tonight. I want to see how they respond. That was a freak inning. That just doesn't happen. So the Jays will kick off the inning, obviously, with runner on second. It looks like now they've got a runner on first and third. So it's tough to follow on this the game day thing. But anyway, I really like how they do the stadium backgrounds. It's come a long way since I used to watch on, in the 90s, and you would have just like the little flat screen, you have moving dots for the base runners and things like that. So yeah, we got a base knock, it looks like, and there's runners on first and third. So I certainly think the Blue Jays are about to win this game, which is, pretty much worst case scenario. Here's another call about Devin Williams.
Derek, was there a Devin Williams virus going around the bullpen today that we don't know about? Somebody call the CDC, please.
Yeah, certainly the worst we've seen the pen in a while, and that's saying something. They have been awful. Let's go ahead and take a look real quick at Anthony Volpe's StatCast metrics. You see the base running value, pretty good, but that doesn't really matter that much because he never gets on base. The batting run value and the fielding run value, both awful. Batting run value in the 2nd percentile, fielding run value in the 12th percentile. I just don't know how you can call yourself a serious baseball team and run this guy out there as you try and win a World Series. I mean, Caballero, let's just look up Jose Caballero. He probably doesn't have enough at-bats to qualify. I guess we'll find out. No, he does. He's 32nd percentage in batting run value, which is not good, but it's 30% higher than Anthony Volpe, and the fielding percentage in the 78th percentile. A lot of the metrics are not good. His defense is good. His speed is good. Good base runner. He's got 43 stolen bases, 225 career hitter. Again, that's better than Anthony Volpe, who's a 221 career hitter, and not a power guy, and he knows that. So let's see if there's an update in the Jays game here. Nothing yet. I guess we'll find out soon. I'm going to go watch it, guys. Have a great night. Obviously, a tough night for the Yankees, but we'll be back tomorrow. and hopefully things will go better. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this content, please hit that like button and subscribe. Check out NYYDesigns.shop for some great merch. Support our sponsors. It helps keep the show going. And you can find us on all major audio platforms, so be sure to subscribe there too. But most importantly, come back again soon. We'll see you next time.